Let me order slow motion. Yes, 60 frames per second. Come on, man. They say they wanna hear that rough shit. These niggas claiming that they bump shit. These niggas with no going close shit. But the players and they get it wrong with the see me, they like, ooh, keep stopping. I'm on my way there, and they ain't gonna stop me. They say they wanna hear that rough shit. I'm on my way. I'm like the bump like the bump shit. They say they like, ooh, keep stopping. And I'm on my body, these niggas right beside me. Damn right, I'm from the hobby, going up like a rocket. Can't nobody stop me. These niggas got me. So watch it out, boy. I'm coming all black, slithering, house coming out, boy. I'm off the hill like a cowboy. I'm a king, bow boy. Shorty like that, baby, cut up. Still nigga ain't open, 144 with them gold, 1 gram open, niggas do it like a stick in the back door. Why I pay a quarter like a bum with a back door. I'ma leave like him. Won't keep on stopping at this bitch off the hand. Got the drip out there, hit the bitch with the soap. It ain't rap, this is soap. Can't take some bitch, let you with the cough. They say they wanna hear that rough shit. These niggas claiming that they bump shit. These niggas better hold it close. But the players if we get it wrong, hold it close. That's all money, no honey, think you settling, see, you locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets, it's one west, you can check the residency, I reside with soldiers down on the soles of their feet, cause it's just before the sign, there ain't no power in me, cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder, who ain't calling the weak, yeah, looking on his feet, yeah, like you will dumb, that can kill us for the weekly, they all red, got you fucking scared, son, get the baby on his feet, put my fucking hands on the black, like red, Trump, like the yellow, only you ain't got a chance, I suggest you hear one. Growing up, feeling like a legend in this shit, little nigga, past veteran, never feeling third, little nigga, past second, guns, I gotta have them all, like ass catcher, shotty break a nigga ribs up like spray left, we all stepping, kill you a kind cause I'm dead nice, that 5'7", put you 6 feet, not talking height, that judge giving out 5, what you doing life, these hands are root GPS, mean right, that's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes, every sand that all fitted, we know the rhymes, I keep a 124 because I know a kind, know it's hard, you know we're animals when we go and rhyme, we back again, no camp, when I'm with camp again, yeah, they say they want smoking, so we matching them, everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym, they say they want to hit that rough shit, these niggas claiming that they bump shit, these niggas with no going close shit, but the players if we get it wrong, hold it close. See me, they like, ooh, keep stopping, I'm on my way there, and they ain't gonna stop me, they say they want to hit that rough shit, I'm like the bump like the bump I'm Nick Nimmin, and I'm a look, I keep it low to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got so and so thick, and my younger than the sweet. This a whole nother way, tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black, gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black, gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. Ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black, gully jack, man, all them niggas gon' retreat, boy. This shit is too easy. I'm on gold, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming, Vinny, beach. In the middle of screaming out, bloody murder. Nobody color curse. I'm on my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, they ain't working. Them niggas weak, say we church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. They cross the line, I'm gonna back up and I'ma hit his ass with his mic. And I come to do 300 strong, fuck 44, bleed at night. All my niggas weak. Ministries with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move. We ain't make his ass off the lead. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here free. Come through all black, gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck. And my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole other way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. They come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, that's on my face, bitch. I'm for real with it.
Mic check.
Feel with it. You saw this cotton just at the uncle feel with it. And if my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commanding General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Yo, preach man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's war time for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you can't. But with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we tanks. We form up in ranks. We ride bag this rap shit. All black, no gray shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on, that's cap shit. I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keys. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on the deck. And my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole double way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the keys. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
Shalom Israel, this is Captain Azania. Shalom Akim. Shalom Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shabbat Rakafam. To the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alatha Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. To the sisters. Okay. And with that, we're going to jump right into it. The water for your patience, the water for rocking with me today. The hidden truth revealed. We're talking about revolutionaries. Okay, and the revolution. And what makes a true revolution? All right. What makes a true revolution? What's the true revolutionary? What is a true revolutionary? The purpose and the cause. All right, we're going to get into that today. All right. Okay, because we have a misconception amongst our people about what revolution is and the purpose and the point of revolutionaries. Okay, and the solution. All right, the solution. A lot of people claim to be revolutionaries but have no solution. They're not solution-based or solution-orientated. Okay? But we have the place right here in the Isupk. And like I said, this is the Isupk, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. 1 West, 125th Street. Put this over here. The water for y'all patience. Okay. Sure. Salakia. Just adjusting this. Make sure y'all can see clear. How's that? It's a little bit better, right? I don't want no too much glare in your eyes. Okay? But yeah, we're going to get into the revolution and what the revolution is all about. All right? Okay? Any questions or comments, go ahead and pop them in. Questions or comments, go ahead and pop the questions and comments in. Greatly appreciated. If you got any questions or comments, go ahead. Let me know. Okay? We're going to jump into it today. We're going to get right. All right? All right? And make sure that we're doing it right, like we always. Hidden Truth Revealed. This is the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Okay, Harlem, New York, New York City. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of all people, for our people. Okay, that the God of the Bible, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is our God. His name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. All right, Yahweh in the Hebrew. Okay, now that Yiddish trash that you might hear of, or think about. Okay, that has nothing to do with God's chosen people. Okay, all right, that's our God. That's our power, and that is the Most High God. And since He's the Most High God, make sure the mic on. There we go. There we go. Yeah. I like that. My volume high, all the way up. All right, and being that He's the Most High God, right? He has a chosen people. The God of the Bible has a chosen people. Okay, and He's chosen us, and His chosen people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, so-called Negroes, West Indians, indigenous of North, Central, and South America, you make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And with you making up the 12 tribes of Israel, something very powerful. Making up the 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called Negro, the so-called West Indian, the so-called Hispanic, the so-called Latino, the so-called Native indigenous of North, Central, and South America. We are scattered abroad, but heavily concentrated in this hell, in the Western Hemisphere. All right? Okay? As you can see what's going on in Haiti, you can see what's going on in Cuba, you can see all these things pointing to the signs of the times, and the signs of the times that we are in. All right? And that's very heavy and important that we understand the signs of these times. Okay? And the things that we're going in. All right? Okay? We're going to get into it. Definitely going to get into it. Right? Definitely going to go get into it. Okay? All right? All right. Let me get this precept first and foremost. I'm going to start it off with this precept. Okay? The ISUPK is under Commanding General Yahan. All right? I want to make sure that that's clear and understood. We're not affiliated nor associated with any other organization or group. All right? Okay? And the reason being is because we are the absolute truth. We are the home of the truth. And when we say it, we mean it, and we live by it and abide by it because we follow this Bible to a T. Have no respecters of persons. All right? We ain't going to veer off in no wickedness or no idolatry, no la land, like the Nation of Islam. Y'all saw how that got crushed. Oh, man. Y'all saw how Captain Qadazah, the power of the Most High, is with him. The Lord is with him. He's the Lord's arrow. That's what his name means, man. And when you saw that thing with that Nation of Islam, it goes and proves that we are not associated with anybody else. And everybody might start off as revolutionaries, but they have no idea. They need to get up in here in the ISUPK. All right? The Nation of Islam, they started out and exploded on the scene during the Civil Rights Movement. All right? They're in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. during the civil rights movement, and they exploded, you know, and they was looked at like revolutionaries, and you know, they wanted something better for their people. Okay, all right, Shalom, and they wanted something better for them for their people. So everybody can be classified or say or claim that they're revolutionaries, but there's only one group of people on this earth that are true revolutionaries. And that's the people that turn back to their God, their power. Right? Because our power, our God, the Most High God, He is going to turn this world upside down. All right? He is going to turn this world upside down. All right? Absolutely. So the people that follow the God of the Bible are true revolutionaries. They're the real revolutionaries. The real revolutionary not only knows that he's an Israelite, not only knows that she's an Israelite, not only knows that we are an enslaved people, not only knows that we are a destroyed people, but are going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments and teach them and build on it and go to war at any cost. Follow the rank and order, follow the orders, follow the structure. That's a true revolutionary. It takes discipline, all right? It takes humility, it takes integrity, it takes morality. That's a true revolutionary, all right? A true revolutionary is not going to side with the enemy, will never side with the enemy, will never be a traitor, will never try to compromise his integrity or her integrity, right? Never try to compromise to try to gain people or followers or friends, okay? And that's what all those organizations have done, even the Nation of Islam, the Black Panthers, all of them wanted to bring in this group, bring in this race, bring in that race, bring in this group, bring in this idea, bring in this philosophy. You understand what I'm saying? You be talking to revolutionaries, and they be sitting there talking about something. Oh, well, what's your sign? The sun, the moon, the stars. I can read the sun, the moon, the stars, the astrology. And she pulling out cards and witchcraft and all this. That's not revolutionary. That's being like your oppressor. You can't be a Catholic and be pro-black. You can't be a Christian and be pro-black. You cannot be a revolutionary and partake in the religions that you partake in. You cannot be a revolutionary and kiss a goddamn rock, bow down to a rock. You cannot be a revolutionary and worship a cross. You cannot be a revolutionary and vote in politics and politics and politics. You can't be a revolutionary marching and integration and marching and integration with the mentality of, if I can't beat them, then we got to join them. Or we got to join them. You can't be a revolutionary where you're constantly begging. What revolutionary constantly begs? You can't. You cannot be a revolutionary, man. All right? Okay? The reason why I wanted to speak on this topic today is because of this article. FT Weekend, U.S. edition. This is my first time seeing this newspaper. I have no idea who writes this newspaper or where it comes from. I'm thinking Canada, but they have a lot of international stories in it. All right? Okay? It's called FT Weekend. FT Weekend. All right? And of course, my picture, that's one of my favorite pictures of all time. That picture right there, man, that's one of my favorite pictures of all time, man. I had this hanging up in my dorm room in college. I had a picture like this on my books in high school and in my locker, man. I thought this was revolutionary. This was strong. And I'm not against these brothers. I love these brothers for doing what they're doing. All right? Okay? They put the black glove on their hands and raised their fist up in 1968, Mexico City. And I'm going to read the article because you know this caught my eye. Of course, this caught my eye. I know y'all familiar with that. Y'all familiar with that, right? So it caught my eye, and I said, oh, let me see what this is all about. I'm going to read the article. FT Weekend U.S. edition. This is Saturday, 17th July, Sunday, 18th July, 2021. Okay. Golden Rule. Athletes warned against podium protests at Tokyo Olympics. Right? So the Golden Rule, there's a rule in the Olympics that athletes are warned against podium protests at Tokyo Olympics. U.S. sprinter Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fist in support of civil rights at the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. One of the highest profile protests made by our athletes. But Thomas Bach, president of the International Olympic Committee, has warned athletes against such gestures at the forthcoming Tokyo Olympics. He told the Financial Times, oh, this is the Financial Times. This is the Financial Times. Okay, I figured it out. I just now, I read this part, but I didn't know that the Financial Times, the FT stood for that. Make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear, because this is crazy. Financial Times that. So why would the Olympics be talking to Financial Times? Anybody? Pop that in. Why would the Olympics have a journalism group, the Financial Times? Why would they be talking to them? Why would the Olympics be talking to Financial Times? What's the correlation between Financial Times and the Olympics? Somebody put that comment in. Why is the Olympics discussing protests? When I say the Olympics, I mean, who is it? Thomas Bach, president of International Olympic Committee. The president of the International Olympic Committee is speaking to Financial Times. Why is that? Somebody pop that in for me. Why is that? Why is he talking to the Olympic Times? Anybody? 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 I need to update my If y'all can hear me, put the thumbs up. Okay. Here we go. The water Barack. Okay, you can hear me. All right. You're absolutely right. Any revolutionary act is bad for business. That's correct. That's correct, brother. Any revolutionary act is bad for business. All right. Now, these brothers and sisters that are in the Olympics, that are representing America, the majority of them don't understand how to fight against oppression. All right. And we shouldn't be mad at them for not knowing how to fight against oppression. Okay. And they try to fight against oppression. Okay. Oh, the question, sister, was why would Financial Times and the International Olympic Committee, why would they be talking? All right. And the brother answered the question. He said, any revolutionary act is bad for business. And what does that let you know? Barack, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's bad for business, right? So what does that let you know? What does that let everybody know? That revolution and revolutionaries and protests are bad for business. What does that let you know? What does that let everybody know? What does that let everybody know? That when you protest, it's bad for their business. That's right, Sararana. You can never mix business with blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian struggles. Absolutely. Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are oppressed in this place. We are enslaved in America. And whenever you speak out against being enslaved, you got these brothers, you got the sister Gwen Berry, you got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters throughout the timeline of the Olympics, throughout timeline of sports, throughout timelines of entertainment, have set up protests and protested against being oppressed. And there is nothing wrong with that. However, the oppressor. Thank you, brother. That's it. Yakazak, that's my man. Slavery is the cornerstone of America. It's the cornerstone of an American success. You have to be enslaved in order for your oppressor to succeed. That's all you brothers and sisters popping in these comments. You're absolutely right. So keep popping them in. Keep popping in all these answers. That's absolutely right. In order for America to succeed, they need to have somebody to step on. They must use somebody to step on. Right? And it's against their business. It's against anybody's business of any country on an international connection. Why would Tokyo in the Olympics be upset that the American slaves are protesting? Why would they be upset with that? Why would they be upset with that? The NFL just came out with a new advertisement, new platform. The NFL is gay. I saw that. I said, what? The NFL is gay. The NFL is lesbian. The NFL is LGBTQ. The NFL is this. The NFL is that. Right? So they know how to market whatever they can capitalize off of. Because they know the LGBTQ community is heavy in the politics. The black community is heavy in the politics. So why would they choose the LGBTQ? Right? The brother, the Isupk, right, walking across stage with the Mexican flag on his back. Why wouldn't they allow that? Oh, we didn't allow anything other than the gowns in which we gave out. We didn't want any distractions. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not hear his story and say, you know what? That's great. Let him do it, man. Let him do it. He's doing this for his family, for his people. Nobody in his entire family graduated from high school. Let him do it, man. That's great. Right? Thank you, brother. The LGBTQ is good for business. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The LGBTQ is great for business. It's great for business. Because the LGBTQ is connected with those rich, powerful, white men who molest everybody, have sex with everybody. So the LGBTQ community is connected to him. And he's the CEO of this company and the CEO of that company. They run all these Fortune 500 businesses. And they have homosexual, they have they bisexual, have pedophiles, do everything foul and wicked in them closet and at them parties, do all the drugs, and they know they can benefit with the LGBTQ. Because there's that connection there. And they know that if we make black and Hispanic people LGBTQ, that takes away their value. So they'll allow you to be LGBTQ in the Olympics. Can you be a lesbian, bisexual, transgender, gay, queer? Can you be that in the Olympics? They don't want us to have black pride. That's right, black and brown pride. We begin to lift each other up. But why would they allow us to be LGBTQ? Why are they fine with us being LGBTQ? They totally for that LGBTQ, right? Y'all know I ain't lying. They all for that. That LGBTQ, they all for it, boy. They fine with that. And now, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. That's right, Justin. I mean, Yakazak, Salakia. That's correct, Yakazak. They fine with us being weak. Absolutely. Yes, they are. They absolutely fine with us being weak. Okay? What does that mean, though? It effeminizes it effeminate our strong men. Yes, sister. Yes. Okay? I used a specific word. What specific word? What specific word? What specific word do they want to take away from black people? When I say black, I mean Israel, black and brown people, right? Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. What do they want us to not do? Because they're going to allow all these so-called revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? They'll make a movie about this guy, and they'll make a movie about this group. They'll have them talk and speak about all these revolutionary groups. But what sets fight? That's correct. It takes away our fight. Right. That's correct. Okay. But they know them other organizations are going to fight. What separates the ISUPK? Because I'm saying we're the revolutionaries. So what separates us? So Rara Nah got it. Get a sister hand. Absolutely, sis. The Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Absolutely, sister. Absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct on that one. Yep. Absolutely correct on that one, sis. I like hearing that. That was absolutely true. True indeed. Okay? All right? Our morals, our morality. Okay? When you get us as God's chosen people to be wicked, right? Because now everything black is gay. Am I right? Am I right? Pop something in that y'all know that I'm talking about. Give me an example of what I'm talking about. Everything now that is black is gay. Everything. Everything that encompasses our culture as blacks and Hispanics, now it's gay. Am I right or wrong, y'all? Build with me. Rock with me. Come on now. What am I talking about? Give me some examples. Give me some examples. It's gay, right? Black leaders, that's correct. We have our leaders that are gay. Juneteenth, that is correct. You go to the Juneteenth festival that's about black culture and us in our slavery, coming up out of our slavery, and how we should focus on uplifting black people. You see the gay pride flag. You see the LGBTQ flag there, the rainbow flag. You see the gay groups there. That's right. Black leaders are LGBTQ. You can't see a list of black leaders without seeing one of them be a lesbian or or gay or transgender. Just by being a transgender, they consider you to be a leader. Oh, it's so great that you came out with your story. It's so wonderful. Black History Month, yep. Black women can't even be black women no more. Because now you got the transgenders saying that y'all ain't natural women. Because they natural women too. And you using your women's privilege above me. I heard that. I said, dang, man. I thought when these knuckleheads were saying the black man is the oppressor to the black woman. And he just like our oppressor, the slave master, the white man. When I heard that, I said, there's no further we can go. And then I heard black women are oppressing transgender women. I said, damn. We all twisted up. Right, so brave, right? They so brave for coming out the closet. Because they just want to be sexual deviants. So since they want to be sexual deviants, now they so brave. That's crazy, man. Right, Shaw. Shaw said they be having HIV and AIDS commercials with blacks leading the commercial saying, if you catch HIV, keep doing it. Yup, basically, yup. Ain't nothing but blacks and Hispanics in the commercials, am I right? Take this pill, and now you can have sex with the other LGBTQ. Go to them parties. You see them dancing. You see the transgender Hispanic brother. He in a dress and he dancing with the little bob on. Dancing with his sodomite boyfriend. Ain't nothing but sodomites. And his two brothers on the roof with the lights glowing, and he gave him a special picnic on the roof. A special date on the roof. They running on the beach. LGBT. Take this pill, and it's going to get rid of your HIV. Slowly but surely. Now you can have sex with whoever you want. Everything they associate black power with. This is how you know nobody's a revolutionary until you get into the Isupk. Then you solidify. Then you know it's real. Then you know we got an agenda. And our agenda is the Most High's agenda. Our agenda is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That is the solution. I'm going to get to these scriptures and get back to this article. Right. Your children. They pushing everything on the children, the LGBTQ. Nothing pro-black. No, there's nothing revolutionary about being immoral. There is nothing revolutionary about immoral. Your integrity should stand. Your morality. That's the word I'm looking for. Morality. You have morals. You have a principle. Since I'm bringing up the LGBT community, right? Black Lives Matter organization is nothing but LGBTQ. Nothing but LGBTQ. And you see what the sodomite woman did. The sodomite sister did. She took that money and she ran with it. She ran all over with it. They don't want black men at the forefront. Why would they want black men at the forefront of a revolution? No, let the sisters stand in front. And the sisters start twerking on the couch. You can't be no stripper and no hoe and be a revolutionary. You can't be a pimp and a whoremonger as a revolutionary. You cannot do it. You can't do it. It's impossible. You can't be on a goddamn stripper pole and be a revolutionary. You can't. You can't be at the Christmas party with your family and be a revolutionary. You can't go to birthday parties in the Easter cookout, the 4th of July cookout, and be a revolutionary. You cannot do it. Why? Because to be a revolutionary means that you have standards. means that you truly are fighting. You are not compromising with any wickedness. That's the Isupk. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. That's why all these black organizations and black people never rise up like everybody always talking about. How come black folks can't come together and just rise up? Why? Because you want to worship the devil. Because you want to be in astrology. Because you want to be a Rasta. Because you want to be Muslim. Because you want to be Moor. Because you want to be Christian. Because you want to be this type of Christian and that type of Christian. You want to follow this white group. You want to be this. You want to be Democrat. You want to be Republican. You have no standards. Once you have a standard and you set a level ground and a foundation, that begins the revolution. When we all come together and say, we're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible, you're going to get somebody in here, so I can't smoke no weed, brother? So I can't sleep with who I want to sleep with? I can't have sex with who I want? No! How can you have a revolution if you have no revolutionaries? If you have nobody who follows a standard? You have to follow a standard. You have to follow something that is greater than yourself. That is why we as a people don't rise up, because they know how to manipulate us. You can't be a revolutionary when you're selling dope to your own people. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You're a drug dealer selling drugs, and you're a witch. And the Bible calls a drug dealer a witch, creating a potion, creating something to alter the mind state of people, creating addicts of a chemical. Yes, brother, you're absolutely right. And you can't be a revolution, you're selling coochie. You can't be that shit ain't no revolution. Y'all be out there, black women be acting like it's something new. Oh, we the independent black women. Oh, it's different now. We done took control of our body and you're selling it. That's new? Or is that the slave master's philosophy pushed on you to where you can follow it? Right? The feminist movement. So that you can follow it. That's not revolutionary. Never was and never has been. It's not revolutionary at all. Brothers riding around with guns and end up killing each other, right? Killing our own people. Absolutely. That's not revolutionary. You know what's revolutionary for black people? You know what's revolutionary for black people? To stop. To stop. I'm going to give you the definition of revolution. Let me get back, all right? Let me get back to the article. I guess this is Financial Times weekend. He told the Financial Times that the podium and the medal ceremonies are not made for a political or other demonstrations. You can't make a political demonstration. When you win the gold medal, that's a political statement. When you win a gold medal in the Olympics, that's a political statement saying that your country is better than the other countries. That is a political statement. And black people have been making political statements as slaves for America for 400 years. And because you can't fight against your oppressor, you don't want us to fight against this beast in which we are struggling and dying. We have the highest abortion rate. We have the highest HIV/AIDS rate. We have the highest murder rate. We got all this high drug abuse rate. We got everything. So, and it comes from our oppressor. And when we want to fight against our oppressor, we can't do that. You know what would be truly revolutionary? For all the black athletes to come together and say, we're not running. We're not throwing nothing. We ain't lifting not a damn weight in your Olympics. I ain't getting in no pool. I ain't swinging off no bars for your Olympics until we get our own team. Black American team. The black and Hispanic team. The black and Native American team. We're going to get one team. The rebels. Those that are revolted. You can do it. Do you know they have that in African countries? In African countries, as well as European countries. They have something called the refugees. The refugees come together and they create their own group because they have been refugees of Sudan, refugees of the far out there in Sudan, refugees in Nigeria, the refugees of this country, the refugees of that country. Why can't we just say we the refugees of North, Central, and South America and come together? They just assassinated the brother in Haiti. Cuba is going through a goddamn battle zone where they murdering brothers and sisters who protest and who stand up because they ain't got no water, no food down there. Manessa. How about we come together with them and stand on this Bible and say we God's chosen people? How about we be the Israelites and battle in the Olympics? That's a political statement. God damn it. We'll say no political statements can be made. No political or other demonstrations should be made. That makes no damn sense. The sister has a scripture. And I'm going to get the scripture, all right? Matter of fact, I'm going to get the scripture now. Okay. That way I'll address the scripture. Oh, Salakia. Salakia. Okay. Sisters got the scripture, Isaiah 59. Because I want to get this Luke. I want to get the Luke. I want to get to the Apocrypha. I'm going to get Isaiah 59. If I got a scripture or anything, go ahead and pop it in. And I'll address the scripture. Isaiah 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. The water says, absolutely. That's the standard we're talking about. Okay. We can't battle an enemy without a standard. You can't battle an enemy without a plan, without a disciplined plan. All right? All the brothers and sisters should be in this same group. Well, I'm in this Hebrew Israelite group, and I'm in this Hebrew Israelite group. That's not revolutionary. That's not revolutionary. Revolutionary would be us coming together as one. Because they would love to have us in different groups and organizations. Because there's no, like the sister is saying in the scripture, because I'm saying a standard. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Verse 20. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith the Lord. The Redeemer. That's our King, Yahushua Mashiach. He's the standard of us keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He kept it perfect. And we can do it too, just like him. Because he came in the flesh as our brother, just like we came in the flesh. And it sets a standard that these things can be kept, that this can be done. But what does it take? It takes some fight. It takes some fight. It takes absolute fight. It takes discipline. You have to knock out your lust and your fleshly desires. You understand what I'm saying? Now the sister, we get the sister to run track for us and to raise our daughters up. Sis, you can't smoke weed, sis. You depressed? Well, we're going to battle that depression the right way. Your family members dying? We're going to battle it the right way. By creating more family for you. Huh? We're going to stop the pedophilia and the child molestation. We're going to stop the rape. We ain't going to have no divorce rate. Do you understand what I'm saying? The oppressor can't get to us once we have that standard and we follow a Redeemer and turn from our transgressions. You turn from your transgressions, you start to get stronger. There is no weakness there. There's no weakness there. Give the devil no space. Meaning, don't allow him to encompass you. How you battling something and you're bringing him into you. You can't battle it that way. There's a way to do it, and that is the Isupk. And we'll be saying it, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Come up in here. Let's do it right. Let's follow the protocol. Let's follow the standard. Let's have integrity. Let's be moral. How can you fight white supremacy? You know how you fight white supremacy? Black morality. Black morality. Say, oh, they ain't beating their women over there. They don't beat their women. What you talking about? They don't beat their wives. They ain't raping women over there. They ain't on drugs. Like you know what I hear a lot? People trying to compare black people with poor white people. Right? And they try to say, because they try to make it as if black culture is anything immoral. Oh, smoke weed, they in the trailer park smoking weed too. They got drug addicts. Oh, they poor too. Y'all poor too. Our poverty has nothing to do with Edomites that live in trailer parks. That's not the same poverty. Because even when you're rich, you still deal with worse things than those people in the trailer park deal with. The Edomites that live in the trailer parks. You deal with the worst. You battling. You can't protest. You can't make a political statement. You can't even speak against oppression. Why is that? Because of morality. We need our morals back. We need a standard back. Ain't no more Freaknik. Ain't no more strip clubs. Ain't no more getting high. Ain't no more getting drunk. Ain't no more partying. What is it? Illicit partying, revelries, which is like sexual orgies and everybody dancing with everybody half naked. How can we be revolutionary when we doing all that? Oh, today's has no standards to where everybody would think that that's revolutionary. Bring them in. Oh, they all revolutionaries, and they all doing different things and doing all things that are against the law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. And then as soon as you bring it up that you have to have morals and integrity, what do people say? What do people say? Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. That means that you don't want to be a revolutionary. And shut your goddamn mouth. Then shut the hell up and go sit down somewhere. You're not a revolutionary. You're not built for this. You don't want it. And we're going to speak about you and against you. You're going to speak against them? Well, why would you do that? Because our people have to know who's weak and who's strong. All of our leadership, our current leadership. When I say our leadership, I'm not talking about the Isupk. I'm not talking about Commanding General Yohana and the generals and the captains. I'm talking about our leadership that gets promoted and uplifted by black people and our people who don't know. And then the media pushes them up. Why does the media push these people up? Because they're not strong. Because they're weak as hell. These ain't the strong people. These are weak people. These are foul and disgusting people that lead us. They have no revolutionary mentality. Olympics chief cautions athletes against. Look, the title is Olympic Chiefs. The Olympics chief. Where does the term chief come from? The Gadites. Shalom, the Gawa. The Gadites. He's using a term. They're using a term that originated with us. How you going to steal a term from us and tell us not to protest? How you going to tell the Native Americans not to protest? You're going to tell us not to protest, and then you steal our name. You are some foul and disgusting people. You know that? The Edomites are some cave bastards. I'm telling you. He is a cave bastard that only cares about his own flesh, his own belly. He only cares about eating. He only cares about making money. What a bastard. Olympics chief cautions athletes against divisive protests at Tokyo Games. The president of the International Olympic Committee has warned athletes against political protests at the Tokyo Games, calling on them to avoid divisive statements that could overshadow the sporting event. Overshadow your sporting event? Like I said, when someone wins a medal in the Olympics, does it get tallied up? Answer that question for me, yo. When an individual wins an Olympic medal, does it go to that individual or does it tally up to something else? Can y'all understand that question? Am I making it clear? Maybe I'm saying it. Maybe I'm saying it too distant or too cloudy. Let me know if y'all understand what I'm saying. Is it an individual thing? Trooper Yassad, Shalom. Trooper Yassad, Shalom, huh? Okay. Is it an individual thing? So Rana, it tally up to something else. That's right. The medal goes to the U.S. That's right, Barack. Okay. Why are there Olympics every 4 years? And why is there Olympics, Winter Olympics every 4 years? They do it. So it's an Olympics every 2 years. And then the Olympics still continues on, basically, because they have the, what's the International Basketball Association, FIBA? And then you got the soccer, International Soccer Association. It continues all the damn time, nonstop. A brother may win it, but it's for the country they are sided with or a citizen of. That's it, brother. It goes to funky ass America. Damn right. That's a political statement. He's saying, oh, that would overshadow the sporting event. Whenever you watch the Olympics, when the Olympics start, right? Turn on the Olympics. You're going to see America, Japan, Russia, England. You're going to see them lined up. And you're going to see gold, silver, bronze. Right? And every day you're going to turn it on. And the Olympics is going to show which country has the most medals. Who's got the most gold medals? Who's got the most these medals? And they tally it up. Doesn't that overshadow the sporting event? Shouldn't everybody just get a medal? Shouldn't we just all clap at the end of the day? At the end of the race, shouldn't we all just come together and hold hands? And why is your song being played? If there are 3 countries on the podium, first, second, and third, why is the country with the gold medal being played? It's politics, you idiot. You bastard. You bastard. It is called politics. And that's called money. Because now you can make money off of it. Now you can make more money off of it. Right or wrong. Y'all know that. Everybody knows that, man. Come on now. Now you're just making money off of it. You're just making money off of it. Because the more gold medals you have, the more recognition you have. Now the more advertisement and commercials you can do. Commercials? Yeah. Nike, Adidas, Fila, right? Puma, Reebok. Michael Jordan was such a slave to Nike that when he wore his Olympic jumpsuit to Barcelona, he said it had Reebok on it. He was such a slave to Nike, he said, they won't change it? Okay. So he took the American flag and draped it over his shoulder to cover the Reebok symbol. What a coon. What a clown. Because Nike, just like America, enslaved you, dummy. Doesn't care about you or your people. Why don't you protest it all? And say I ain't playing no goddamn basketball until you give my people their rights that they deserve. We ain't running no more track until you give us our reparations. How about that? Oh, but you're speaking politics. I hate when they mix politics into sports. You ever hear Edomite say that? Why can't they just stand there in the national anthem and just shut up? They're mixing politics into sports. Dumbass! The American national anthem is politics. That's politics, ain't it? We're all the same in America. It's one country here in America. That's political. That's a political agenda. Because you know that's not true at all. You being a diehard, loving American, these colors don't run in your pickup truck, waving your flag, you know that there's oppression in America. You know it better than anybody else. What is y'all talking about, man? Oh, it's political. It's going to overshadow the sporting event. Well, I ain't bringing my black ass then. Overshadow that. Let the NBA be all Edomites. Let it be all Edomites in the NBA. And all the brothers join the big three with Ice Cube. I watched the big three yesterday and I said, dang, this ain't nothing but a black event, boy. This hood right here. I like this. This is my flavor right here. They got a DJ right next to the court. I said, this is live, man. I like this. The cheerleaders and sisters. All this cheerleaders was nothing but blacks and Hispanic sisters. Curvy, too, Kevin Samuels, you sodomite. I said, this is an event that, yeah, I like this. Why can't we have that and just do it ourselves? Since they don't want us to bring our politics. You're going to enslave a people and they can't talk. You're going to hurt and rape and murder a people. Murder a people on camera and they can't talk about it. That's depression right there. But let them be sodomites. Let them be LGBTQ. Thomas Bach said the games, which begin next Friday, would be by far the most complex and most difficult ever. Having been delayed a year due to the pandemic and taking place only with strict COVID-related restrictions. Bach, a former Olympic fencing champion for Germany. This guy's from Germany. A fencing champion from Germany. From Germany? Doesn't Germany have a history of politics? Does Germany's politics ever overshadow sporting events? The history of Germany gets told every single day. Because Germany had Adolf Hitler and the neo-Nazis that stormed through people's houses and took these people, the Jewish people, and threw them on the ovens and murdered them for about 2-3 years. And it was all political. And do you know Jesse Owens ran in the Olympics? And you know who declined to shake his hand? Adolf Hitler of Germany. The Germans have a very, very political history with the Olympics. Yeah, dummy. You don't think anybody's smart. Bach, a former Olympic fencing champion for Germany, said he would not support athlete activism during the games. Most high-profile occasions. The game's most high-profile occasions. The podium and the medal ceremonies are not made for a political or other demonstrations, Bach said. They are made to honor the athletes and the medal winners for sporting achievement and not for their private views. What if it's the views of all the people in which they come from? They come from a vast group of people. They come from Black and Hispanic people who have been enslaved in these Americas. It's not private. That's revolutionary when it's not private. Let me get to it. Let me hurry up. During the past year, amid a global reckoning over racial and social injustice, athletes have been at the forefront of protest movements. European footballers and U.S. basketball players have taken the knee before matches in gesture against racism. Naomi Osaka, the Japanese tennis star, the Tokyo organizers hope to present as the global face of the games, has also been a vocal critic of police brutality. In recent weeks, the IOC has amended its rules to allow for some dissent, such as at press conferences and on social media. But protests remain forbidden on the field of play, in particular on medal podiums where Tommy Smith and John Carlos, the U.S. sprinters, raised their fist in support of civil rights at the 1968 Games in Mexico City, and one of the most high-profile protests by athletes, and that was beautiful. Gotta give it up for Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Give it up for them brothers. That was heaven. Okay? The mission is to have the entire world together at one place, competing peacefully with each other. The devil that the Bible speaks of, right there. That's the devil that the Bible speaks of. How can you not acknowledge and know that this is the devil that the Bible speaks of? He speaks with a forked tongue. His words are smooth, as Isaiah says. His words are smooth as butter, but in his heart there is war. I'm paraphrasing. Oh, this is a peaceful event. This is all about peace. This is all about peace. Mind you, your people murdering my people. Your people have oppressed my people. Y'all don't say that about Asian hate. Since we in Tokyo, why don't you tell all your Asians to stop crying then? Why don't you say that? The Asians are now the new face of peace and rights and civil rights. Stop Asian hate. Why don't Tokyo and the Olympics of Tokyo say, hey, Asians, stop all that, Asians. We don't want that here. We don't want none of that. Why don't you say that? Why don't you in Germany and your European unions, why don't y'all come together and say, hey, let's stop getting drunk at all these football games, all these soccer games. Let's stop getting all drunk and crazy and breaking things. Let's stop that. How about we be peaceful? Let me tell y'all something, man. The white man is never peaceful. And he's only talking about peace when he doesn't want you to revolt. When he doesn't want you to wake the hell up and be a true revolutionary by turning back to your God. Nick Cannon got a new show coming out this fall. The new Nick Cannon daytime show. Why did Nick Cannon get that show? Because he shut his goddamn mouth up. Because he got quiet. But as soon as he turned to being a revolutionary and saying that black people are the 12 tribes of Israel, oh no, you can't say that. You should be peaceful. That's not peaceful. That's some rhetoric that's told on those streets. Nah, it ain't rhetoric. It's biblical. You guys gotta be at peace. Why we gotta be at peace all of a sudden? Now we gotta be the peaceful ones. Now we gotta be peaceful. Now blacks and Hispanics gotta be peaceful. You tore up Haiti, you're tearing up Cuba, you tore up Central America, you enslave us, you impoverish us, you put us on all your drugs. The only way you can say we can be make it and be accepted is if we be homosexuals, if we be gay, LGBTQ. If we do that, then we can be accepted. You know I'm not lying. You know that's absolute truth. That's the only way we can be accepted. And that's the only way you want us to be at peace. If we aborting our babies, we got the highest abortion rate. Now we're supposed to be at peace. Now everything is peaceful. We dying, we poor. We living in the slums and in the gutter. But it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. 1 out of every 100 of you will make it in something. Playing a goddamn sport, making a song. It's okay. It's all right. Relax. Be at peace. Now you want us to be peaceful. You're the goddamn devil, man. This you would never manage if the games became divisive. He's saying the games would become divisive if the poor people protest, if the enslaved protest, if the victim protests. The games are already divisive. You're competing against another country. That's already divisive, isn't it? Isn't that already divisive? If I want Simone Biles to win all the gold medals, isn't that divisive? If you got your little Russian girl flipping on the bars, doing 360s in the air, you got her doing that. Don't you want her to win? That's divisive. The Olympic Games are created to be divisive, to divide each country. It's not created to bring these countries together. They're fighting each other. And you created the Olympics so that people wouldn't have constant battles and wars and literally kill each other. So it's just a symbol of going to war against the other countries. And because my people, the 12 tribes of Israel, the niggers and the spits and the wetbacks that you hate so much, and the redskins, those are the names you call us. The 12 tribes of Israel, the black and brown people of North, Central, and South America, because now we want to fight back against the oppressor. Why don't you let us do that? Why don't the black and brown people just come together and let us race against you? Let us box against you. Huh? Let us play football against you. Let us swim against you. How about that? How about we just dunk our own basketball against you, everybody else? Oh, that would be too divisive. Because we would whoop your ass. We would whoop your ass. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Excuse my language, but I gotta be frank with it. Officials say privately that curtailing dissent, will be impossible to enforce. Such acts have already occurred in the run-up to Tokyo, such as drawing in a U.S. Olympic trials last month when Winberry, the hammer thrower, turned her back on the U.S. flag and wore a T-shirt on her head that read, "Active Athlete." Give the sister a hand. Give the sister a hand. Absolutely. She turned her back on the American flag. This week, the British women's football team said they would take the knee before Olympic matches. Political protests are just one of the difficult issues facing organizers. The event is unpopular with Tokyo's citizens. So when the Japanese come to the Americas and they see how much hell we live in, they still don't give a damn. Or they see what's going on in North, Central, and South America. They don't care about it at all, right? So why the hell am I running for you? Why am I running to entertain you? Why am I doing something to entertain you? Because you look at me as nothing. There has been outrage at apparent instances of Olympic officials breaking mask-wearing rules in a city under a state of emergency. Ooh, wee. Let the Lord let him send his plagues. Let him send his plagues. He jumped down. He rejected the notion that the games were going ahead to protect broadcasting and sponsorship income, see, which was worth $5.7 billion. They got billions in this, homie. You can't be protesting. There's billions in it. But let us out. Let's be like Moses and let my people go. Let us go. Let us go. Y'all get the drift. Y'all get exactly what I'm reading. Y'all know exactly what it's about. I'm gonna keep going with that article, all right? Because there's heavily more to it, but I want to get to these scriptures. All right? I want to get to these scriptures and these definitions. All right? What's this say? Second Esdras chapter 6. Second Esdras chapter 8. Chapter 6, verse 8. Right. Sister said we got to get out of here. Absolutely. That's a revolutionary thought process. Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Let me get y'all the definition for revolution. That's a revolution right there. That's the revolution right there. Esau is the end of the world. When Esau's world ends, Jacob's worlds begin. Esau, he is the progenitor of the Edomites, of the so-called white man. That is Esau. That is Esau, man. Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites. All the European Caucasians, the so-called white man, that is Esau. And it says in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, in 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's revolution. The Bible is all about revolution, man. All about it. You want to be a revolutionary, you got to pray that Esau's world falls. Your fight is that his world falls and your world rises up. Kwam Yasharala. Kwam Yasharala. That's your world rising up. Rise, Israel. Let me get this. Let me get revolutionary in the dictionary. I'm going to get revolutionary in the dictionary. Okay, here we go. The water for y'all patience. That's right. Yakazak. That's right. Kwam Yasharala. That means revolution. That means we want our kingdom to rise. Who else wants our kingdom to rise? Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai Mashiach. He and his purpose and his mission is that for Israel to rule the planet. Now, I don't want that. If you don't want that, then you ain't no revolutionary. Al Sharpton ain't no goddamn revolutionary. You're a bubblehead freak. Doesn't give a damn about his people. All these Christian pastors, they don't care. All these civil rights leaders, they don't care. They don't want a revolution. They want compromise. Can't want compromise and be a revolutionary. This is what the dictionary says. Page 1245. Webster's New World's College. What is it? College Dictionary. Yep. Revolution. Revolution. Latin, revolutus. Revolvery. Revolve. All right, here's the definition. The movement of an orbiting celestial object as a star or planet completely around another object. You see the microphone here, right? Okay. Let's say the microphone is the sun. All right. Now let's say this is planet Esau. And this is planet Jacob. Right? This is planet Esau and this is planet Jacob. And this is the sun. Right? Since the conception of these two planets, they crave more sunlight. Okay? Now, Esau says, I want all of the sun, and I will allow you bits and parts of the sun, but I'm going to be in front of you so that I can gain all of the sun's power. Now, planet Jacob says, well, we got to revolt because I want more sun. Right? And then you get to where Jacob says, well, let's be equal. Right? But you see, Jacob is still further away from the sun, even when he feels as if he's equal to Esau. But a true revolution is when Jacob is in front of Esau, gaining all the power. All right? That's just planet. That's science. That's scientific. That's science. And you got to want the entire power. You can't want to be equal to something because you're not going to get the power in which you deserve. Let me keep going. The time taken for a body to go around in orbit and return to its original position. There it is, verse 2. A turning or spinning motion of a body, shaft, etc., around a center or axis rotation. One complete turn from such rotating body, shaft, etc. 3. Complete cycle of events The revolution of the seasons. A complete or radical change of any kind. What's a kind, folks? What's a kind, folks? What kind folk mean? What does that mean when I say kind folks? Kin folks, right? A complete change of any kind. A revolution and modern system by those governed. Overthrow of a government. The overthrow of a government. The overthrow of a government. The overthrow of a government. Form of government or social system by those governed, and usually by forceful means, with another government or system taking its place. Taking its place. The American Revolution, 1775. The French Revolution, 1789. The Chinese Revolution, 1911. The Russian Revolution, 1917. How you got all these goddamn revolutions by all these nationalities of people? Where is our revolution? Where is our revolution? Revolutionary are characterized by favoring or causing a revolution in a government or a social system, bringing about constituting a great or radical change, a revolutionary design of or having to do with American Revolution or the revolting or rotating, a person who favors or takes part in a revolution. Revolutionary. You have to make a drastic, look at this, revolutionize. To make a complete and basic change and alter drastically or radically. To bring about a political revolution. To bring about a political revolution. Drastic. Meaning, if it is going to be drastic, it's going to take some damn discipline. It's going to take some structure. That's the dictionary, man. That's the damn definition in the Bible. Look, man. Runaway slaves. All the runaway slaves had the mentality of revolution. Don't run for the Olympics. Don't run for America. Run for your nation. Runaway slave. I'd rather be a runaway slave, man. That's too much. Let me get this. Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord of God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. Redeemed, to bring back, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies, and from all the hand, and from the hand of all that hate us. What is we talking about? Why is it so unfamiliar? It says it in the Bible that Yahushua came, man. Yahushua Mashiach is a revolutionary in his purpose that we should be saved from our enemies. To be saved from your enemy is a revolution. Not compromising with your enemy. That's true revolutionary thought. You can't be a revolution once you join them. They don't even recognize that. They got Benedict Arnold. And they call Benedict Arnold a traitor in the American Revolution. There's a statue of Benedict Arnold's foot. Because before he turned coat, before he became a traitor, he fought in the American Revolutionary War. He fought on the side of America, and he got shot in the foot. And he said, this is the only part of Benedict Arnold that is honorable. It's his damn foot. Because the rest of him went on and became a traitor for the British. What y'all doing? What are we doing? You get in the Isupk, you become a revolutionary. Because you truly follow your king, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, which the world calls Jesus Christ, a black man, to save blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, to save black people, our people, the 12 tribes of Israel, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercies promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. That's how we're going to do it, man. Go back to the covenant. Go back to following our Father, our Heavenly Father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's how we're going to do it. That's a revolution. And that's the solution to win. Can't fight a revolution smoking weed. Can't fight a revolution getting high. Can't fight a revolution beating each other. And you can't damn sure fight a revolution having a sex war inside of your group, amongst your people. I'm getting tired of these sex wars. The black woman don't do this. The black man don't do this. Shut the hell up, nigga. It's both of our fault. Ain't it? Well, play in your position. Play your position then. Get inside of here. Put on the whole armor of God. And in order to put the armor on, you got to take off the filth that you already wearing. That's revolutionary. The Isupk is revolutionary. With that, shalom, Israel. Make sure you check out Commander General Yahada tonight. Commander General Yahada tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Black Watch News. Type in Black Watch News, man. Black Watch News. Black Watch News. It's powerful. Powerful tonight. Check out General Muhammad. If he does the, he should do the 7 o'clock class. The scripture breakdown. Always powerful. Bring all your questions. They all get answered according to the Bible, man. All right? Check out all our classes. Pay your tithes, your donations. We're on the Zelle. Send in your donations through the Zelle and your tithes. All right? Hook it up. Do it right. This upcoming weekend, Fire Weekend in Chicago. Make sure y'all check that out, all right? Then we're going to have the cookout in Harlem. All right? Randall's Island. Okay? Make sure y'all stay locked in and tuned in. Get in all these classes. Get in all black if you want to be a trooper. Sisters, come up in here with a scarf over your head. You don't know how to do it, we're going to teach you. Okay, brother, you ain't got no black t-shirt, no black pants, no black boots. Don't buy that nickel bag of weed. Don't buy no more weed for the rest of the week and get you some all black. We got you, brother. And if you can't get that, we got you in here. Come up in these classes, man. This is how you truly fix and heal your people. This is how you truly turn back to the Most High. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit and was in the desert till the day of his showing unto Israel. That's good. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Lord. Peace. Keep it loyal to the team. Yeah. Excuse me.